everybody, it's Catherine here from Continue the Magic, and we are about to go through some of the news updates that came out this week. I'm recording this on April 28th, 2025, and there's been some cool news coming out about May the 4th, about the electrical parade coming out, about the new lounge at Epcot, and some annual pass discounts that are happening. So let's get started with the annual pass holder days. So there's a variety of things going on here. They start at May 14th and they're going to go all the way to July 31st depending on the perk. So let's take a look at what they're offering this year. So from June 2nd to June 22nd, they are offering 20% off DisneyStore.com for select merchandise only. And you can take advantage of that by using WDW20 as a code when you are going to check out from the website. Next, they are bringing back the annual Passholder Lounge. So this is going to be at Restaurant Marrakesh in the Morocco Pavilion in Epcot. This is going from May 14th to July 13th and will be open from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. each day. There's going to be a variety of things offered here. There will be free snacks and water available. Obviously, it's going to be air conditioned, which is always a nice perk. There's charging stations for your phone. And if you have PhotoPass, they are going to have some photo opportunities in that space for those annual pass holders. So next is the one I'm probably the most disappointed that I'm going to be missing out on. And this is 40% off at select restaurants in the parks and at Disney Springs. So this is weekdays only. This is going to be from Mondays to Thursdays. And depending on the date range, it will change which restaurants you can get reservations at. But 40% off is a huge discount and a really good motivator if you want to have a nice sit-down meal. So the first set is from May 14th to June 30th, and this is going to include the Boat Ride Dining Hall, the Cape May Cafe, but for dinners only, Hollywood and Vine, Toledo and Tusker House for dinner and lunch. Then from July 1st to July 31st, they change up the restaurants on you. So this will be Ale and Compass for lunch and dinner. It's going to be the Coral Reef, which is a really exciting one. It's also going to include the Diamond Horseshoe, Tiffin's, and Whispering Canyon. So I think the July range is probably my favorite for the restaurants I would want to take advantage of, this 40% discount. But do remember that is only from Mondays to Thursdays, so this obviously isn't going to include your weekends. Now, I'd obviously be remiss if I didn't talk about May the 4th. We're getting too close now to not bring it up. So obviously we're going to have new merch for May the 4th this year. They are going to use a virtual queue in order to purchase the merchandise, and they will have limits on the purchasing for those. So keep that in mind if you want to get some of these merchandise options. There's two really cool new designs in specific that they're focusing on this year, and that is the Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. And then you also have the R2-D2 and the C-3PO pairing. And these all say May the 4th. There's some nice stitching on these. And then there's a new Magic Band Plus available as well. So some really cool merchandise if you're into May the 4th and you want to get some of that Star Wars merch. So the next bit of news is unconfirmed, but they are kind of giving us a hint on where we might be able to see that Starlight Parade coming in. So on July the 6th, they are changing the times of the fireworks show. So it's going to be going on at 9:20 up until that point. And then on July 6th, they are moving it to 10 p.m. So we're kind of thinking that this is going to be the moment where they bring the parade back into the parks. Hopefully there'll be two showings. So ideally we're looking at a 9 p.m. for the parade, a 10 p.m. fireworks, and then another 11 p.m. parade. So really great to see a nighttime parade back up in the parks. This is a huge addition and has been really lacking from the parks for the last little while. So this is probably the thing I'm the most excited about, to see a new nighttime parade coming back in. All right, so the last bit of news that I want to talk about is more details that we got on Geo-82. So this is the new adults only lounge that's opening up in Epcot. So I'm going to put up a map on the side here so you can see where the lounge is going to be located, because this is going to impact the fact that they have a fireworks dining package that's available for that one. So this is a 21 plus venue, so this is adults only, so do keep that in mind when you're making arrangements for your next trip. So they have released the full menu for the restaurant. I'm not going to go through every single drink and food item. Obviously, if you want to know that information, I'll make sure that I provide a link below in the description so you can check that out. But I will highlight a few of the key things that I think are really exciting. So as far as drinks go, there's going to be 2 specialty cocktails that are non-alcoholic. And this is a walk in the park, And this one's interesting. It features orange bitters and celery bitters. So if that bitter flavor is kind of your jam, this might be an interesting one for you. The other one, if you're a Joffrey's fan, is going to feature Joffrey's Cold Brew, and this is the Manhattan in the morning. Then as far as the alcoholic drinks, there's a few here that really caught my eye as being kind of a unique experience. So they have the caramelized leek martini, which I think is a really cool change to we often see caramelized onions. So having a different flavor palette in there I think will be really interesting. So if you're a fan of old fashions, this next one's going to catch your eye. This is the brown butter old fashioned. So this is going to feature bourbon, brown butter, maple, and chocolate bitters. If you're looking for something a little more refreshing, they're going to have the strawberry and coconut right hand. Then there's the banana brulee highball, and this is going to have sherry, whiskey, banana, coffee, and cacao. And if you're into bourbon, they are doing a Disney Select bourbon flight, which will be available as well. As far as the food goes, you're going to see some of your standards there. Of course, they're going to have a charcuterie board with your cured meats and your cheeses. They're going to do a cannellini hummus, a fungi flatbread, which is going to have mushrooms, mozzarella cheese, and a black garlic molasses, which will be really interesting. There's the jumbo lump crab gâteau. So this is smoked cheddar, a mustard seed and lemon vinaigrette, and caviar. And there's a truffled ahi tuna. So those are kind of some of the ones that I picked out. Obviously, there's a few more options here, so feel free to dig into those. And once they open up, obviously, we'll start seeing more photos so we can get some reviews of this so you know what your best options are if you make it to the lounge. Also, there's going to be souvenir glasses. I've got a picture of them up here. So if you are looking for that collectible item to kind of commemorate your experience there, that's a really good option to pick up while you're in there. Now, one of the key things that they're offering at this lounge is the fireworks package. So this is kind of a combination of like a dinner package and a dessert party. They're kind of covering both of your bases there. So with that, you do get champagne or a custom cocktail that they're going to create. Before the fireworks, you'll get access to kind of a savory tower of light snacks. And then during the fireworks, they're going to offer you sweets. Now this is going to be indoor seating, but you're going to have wall-to-ceiling windows so that you get that nice clear view of the fireworks show. And so you're going to be overlooking the gardens and overlooking the nighttime spectacular. So this is going to be $179 per person, plus tips and taxes. So make sure you factor that in if that's something you really want to do during your trip. So the only other thing I want to touch on is the construction projects that are going. Not a lot of huge updates here. They are making progress on both the Cars Land area as well as the Tropical Americas, but probably where we're seeing the biggest changes so far is around Test Track. So there's some new signage. We're starting to get some overheads of what the new entry area is going to look like. And then I don't know if you would have seen it already, but there's videos of the new car design. Now, personally, I find this to be a fairly subtle change to the car design. Obviously, we're still looking at the same physical structure of the cars. We're still having 6 people per vehicle, but they did showcase the new look. It is a little bit darker, a little bit sleeker, but not quite so bold and in your face. So I think it'll complement it nicely, but nothing kind of groundbreaking as far as vehicle design. So we'll keep you updated as we get more news on this. There's still no opening date. They're just saying late summer. So we'll keep tracking as little sections of it get revealed, and we'll keep you updated along the way. So thanks so much for checking in with us again. We're going to be posting every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time so that you can get the latest news and updates every week. Make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that notification button so you're not missing out. And we'll see you in the parks.